Hello, my fellow obsessives. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you so much. I want to apologise in advance because in the middle of this episode, I sneezed and I'm not able to edit it out cleanly. I am going to get better at that, but please bear with me this episode. I tried to fix it and I was just making it worse. So anyway, here we go. Hello and welcome to the One Obsession at a Time podcast. I am your host Anastasia Lara and I am so excited for you to join me today, whether you are coming back or you are listening for your first time. So today I want to talk about the horrible day I had yesterday. I am doing alternate day fasting. It is my current obsession. And yesterday I had the worst day ever on this protocol. And believe it or not, it was a feast day and I made some mistakes. So let's set the scene. It was my feast day. I was kind of excited to eat. I had just come off a 38-hour fast the time before that, I think, and I was ready just to eat at breakfast time. I didn't want to extend my fast any further. I just wanted to enjoy a nice breakfast. And I thought to myself, I'm going to have my favourite peanut butter and jam oats, which I love. I just make some quick oats, tablespoon of peanut butter, teaspoon of jam, and a scoop of protein powder because, let's make it healthy and protein rich. Anyway, I did all of my usual serves, all of my scoop sizes and everything, and had my normal bowl of oats. Okay, feeling pretty good. Lunchtime comes around and I think, I had on my previous feast day, I had pre-prepared my family a lasagna for fast days, so that I didn't have to cook on my fast day. So I still had some of that left over from the previous day. So I thought, I'm going to eat that for lunch. And I didn't even give myself a big serve, but it probably was big enough. I got almost through this lasagna practically at the end. I probably had about 3 or 4 bites left of delicious mince and all the yummy bits. And all of a sudden I was just like, I am stuffed. I am so full. I can't finish. And I was like, that's pretty good. My stomach must be shrinking. Anyway, I am going okay. Everything's fine. And about, I would say, an hour to 2 hours after hours after I'd eaten lunch, all hell sort of broke loose. My stomach was just so bloated. I felt so full. My pants was too tight all of a sudden, and I just really felt awful. I felt miserable. I was just sitting there feeling like I'd eaten too much, and obviously I had. But not only that, there was a couple of other lessons there that caused this problem. So in hindsight, I definitely ate high carb and high volume foods. So that means my carb tolerance and my insulin sensitivity have shifted a little bit. So why on earth would I go back and eat those high carb foods? I don't know. Obviously wasn't thinking very much. The other mistake I made was that my serving sizes belonged to pre-fasting. So pre-alternate day fasting days and not my current stomach. So I am trying to eat like the person I was 3 weeks ago, and I literally do not have the stomach for it. So I did a bit of reading last night while I'm trying to recover, and I did a little bit of reading and found that fasting really slows down your digestion temporarily, not in a bad way. It just means that it's giving your body a break. And reintroducing food, especially carbs, helps pull water back into the gut. So that's what's caused my bloating. Absolutely crazy. And also I really didn't have large portions, but I had the same portion sizes that I would have had a month ago. And obviously that's what got me into this mess. So I should probably think about reducing my portions. So how gently and just easing in. I think I'm going to have a think about having maybe like a snack and a cup of tea. Even though the oats weren't the big problem, it literally was eating the lunch. And to be honest, was I hungry for lunch? No, I was just eating it because it's lunchtime. And that's another mistake, is probably just these things that we're socially conditioned to do. And here's the other plot twist. I was home alone yesterday. I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to eat then. It was just, it's time for lunch. I'm going to eat the lasagna. The other thing I'm going to do is, if I am going to have high carb foods, they are not going to fill up my whole plate. I'm just not going to do that to myself. So maybe next time I'll try a quarter of my plate and the rest is salad, or maybe I'll just have half a lasagna and fill up, if I'm hungry again, for fruit. Maybe I will try that, where you eat for half an hour, then you pause for half an hour, and then you decide if you're hungry again. Maybe I needed to be doing that. Or maybe I needed to be listening to my hunger cues a little bit more closely. The other thing I'm going to be aware of is that my stomach capacity is shrinking. It's getting smaller. It's just that my brain hasn't caught up to that yet. I will get there. And if I am feeling bloated, it doesn't mean that I've failed. It just means that I am adapting. I definitely felt like I'd blown it last night because I was so uncomfortable. And I just won't do that. But so how did I recover from that afterwards? I really took last night very slowly. I didn't eat a lot of dinner. I didn't force dinner. I just did some twists. I did some yoga twists. I just sort of sat on the floor and just sort of twisted to the left and twisted to the right, sort of trying to wring out this bloating. I think there's just a lesson in there for me. I don't want to do that again. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll forget. But I think it was a really big lesson for me. So if you ever have a feast day where you feel like you've swallowed a basketball, you're not alone. You're just learning your new normal. And just remember to be gentle with your stomach. On a final note, I really did think that my fasting days were going to be the hardest part of this journey. But yesterday was horrible. We don't want to go through that. Okay, so I just thought I'd recap that, because talking about this is not a linear journey. It is certainly cyclical, and I went through a little mini cycle of hell yesterday. Don't be like me, guys. Don't be like me. Okay, if you'd like to connect on Instagram, you can find me over on Instagram, One Obsession at a Time. I also have a new Facebook group, which is fairly quiet, but we do have someone in there. It's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to telling you more about my journey next time. Let me know how you're going. Okay, bye.